What's up, guys? Today we got a brand new video, and we're going to be breaking down one of the best fights on the calendar in 2025. Devin Haney is going up to 147 pounds to fight Brian Norman Jr. for his WBO belt in Riyadh, November 22nd, as the co-main for David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. And I think this fight's going kind of under the radar for casual fans. Hardcore fans are talking about it, but it's really a great fight. I really wish that more people. It should be honestly the main event, but I'm gonna be breaking down what people are getting wrong about this and really break down this fight and the truth behind it. And what is that truth, you may wonder? Well, I think Brian Norman is going to lose to Devin Haney. Even though Brian Norman's the favorite, I just don't see it happening, man. I think Devin Haney's going to win by decision. I think he's going to outbox him, and I think he's going to make it look easy. But before you guys get mad and go, what, bro? Brian Norman, he's coming off a brutal KO of Saki. Haney still has PTSD from the Ryan Garcia beating. He didn't look good against Ramirez. He's going to get caught with that left hook, just like how he got caught against Ryan. How does Brian Norman lose? He's stronger, it's at his weight class, more powerful. And yeah, on paper, that does make sense. Like, you're only as good as your last fight in boxing. Brian Norman is on an upward trajectory. He is stronger. He is probably a little bit bigger. I think they're about the same size, to be honest, and definitely hits a lot harder. And Haney doesn't hit that hard. And I don't think his power, is that going to be crazy at 147 either. But there's a lot more than power in knockouts that win fights in boxing. So I'm going to be breaking down why I think this. So first off, the experience, right? Haney has been there with high-level guys. Vasily Lomachenko, Regis Prograis is a champion. George Kambosos, who, in retrospect, wasn't the best win, but was unified champion after upsetting Teofimo Lopez. Also just fought Jose Ramirez, who's unified champion. Haney has more experience than Norman. He is also a little bit older too. And if you look back at some of Norman's fights, he just does not have, the greatest resume, right? And I just think that experience at the world class level for Haney is definitely going to help a lot in this fight. Second is that Haney controls the pace, right? Haney is amazing at slowing the fight down and getting it to his speed, right? He has a great jab. He still has very good footwork. I know people are going to go, oh, but he's a runner. He's a track star. And yeah, I didn't like his Ramirez performance either. But if you rewatch some of Haney's other fights, very good footwork, very good at keeping distance. And, Norman, I think he's just going to be kind of perplexed a little bit. I think he's going to be outboxed. And I think Haney's, fight IQ, his jab, distance management is going to allow him to box, a clean 12 rounds and get a decision. And third, right, defense. We talked about the jab, we talked about the distance control, and how that plays into his defense is that Haney will fight at a range that he is comfortable at, right? He is going to be getting in and out. I think there will be times where he fights on the inside. I don't think this is going to be a running performance, like he was against Ramirez. But I think that Haney is underrated defensively. You can see he's been making improvements in camp. Yes, Ryan was catching with the left hook, but Norman does not have Ryan's hand speed. And I think Haney, as long as he sticks to his game plan, he's really going to show why he was considered to be one of the best defensive boxers prior to that Ryan Garcia fight. Also, I'm gonna just be real. I think Brian Norman's a little bit overhyped, maybe a little bit overrated. Yes, he has that highlight reel knockout over Saki. Yes, when he won his title, that he was an underdog going into that fight. Um, and he impressed. He gets stoppages. He looks flashy. Or the way he fights is a exciting style that people like. But I think sometimes with these highlight reel, guys, people don't always watch the full tape. And if you look at the full tape, Norman has not exactly the world class elite boxer that the Haney haters and Top Rank want you to believe. And then on the flip side, I think Haney's underrated. And yeah, Haney did not have a good performance against Ryan Garcia. he not have a good performance against Jose Ramirez. You know, he is also going up a weight class. He hasn't gotten a knockout, like a real knockout, since 2019. His win over Regis Prograis didn't age that well. Yeah, the Lomachenko fight, which I did think Lomachenko won, but obviously it was very controversial. A lot of people thought he lost that fight too. But I think he's still coming in underrated. I think people have to understand that Haney was the youngest undisputed champion at lightweight. He won in his first fight at 140. He got WBC champion, and he was cheated by Ryan. Ryan was on PEDs. I think when you factor that all in, Haney is underrated right now, and I think the odds, in my opinion, Haney should be the favorite, and I think people are just kind of sleeping on him right now. So six, well, you gave us the breakdown. What's your prediction? So as I said earlier, I do think Haney's going to win, and I think it's going to go to decision. You might see some people online going, Haney fans are being like, oh wow, Haney, he's looking filled out at this weight class. He's not cutting as much now. He won't be drained. He's gonna have more power, kind of like how they're saying at 140. And go, I'm not really gonna believe that. Haney is not turn into a power puncher at 147. But I think Haney's gonna outbox Norman. Norman will win some rounds. I don't think this is gonna be a complete shutout, but I'm gonna go probably 117, 111 Haney. Don't think there'll be any knockdowns. Probably not a whole lot of drama. But as long as Haney doesn't get clipped and sticks to his game plan, I think he's gonna be fine. People are gonna question his chin. Think I think his chin will hold up. People will question his recovery if he gets knocked down. I think his recovery isn't that bad either. If you watch the Ryan Garcia fight, he was winning pretty much every round except the rounds that he didn't get knocked down, and it reflected on the scorecards. So yeah, I'm going Haney. Unanimous decision, probably around 117, 111. But, anyway, if you disagree or agree or have, some thoughts, leave in the comments and suggest to me what I should talk about in my next video.